This week on Kentucky Afield, we're in the boat with a collegiate angler who proves there's many ways to learn how to fish.
Oh, I got him. Sweet.
Next, deer season's almost here. We're all excited to get in a tree stand, but something that shouldn't be overlooked is safety. Then, dove season is on the horizon as well, and who doesn't love that fast flying fun? It's all next on Kentucky Afield.
Yeah, we got one. Sweet.
Got a muskrat?
Yeah.
Good job. What do you know about that, man? That's a good fish, man.
Nice male smallmouth, healthy, pretty colors.
Cody, here, find us one more good pheasant, Cody.
As biologists, we catch ducks and we place bands on them.
And it's just a really excellent place to see cottonmouths.
What do you think?
That was pretty fun.
Hello and welcome to Kentucky Afield. I'm your host, Chad Miles. Join us as we journey the Commonwealth in search of outdoor adventure. There are many unique ways to get involved in fishing, and some of them may be closer to the end of your fingertips than you may think. Well, Zach, I think you got some good reports, and it sounded like the same reports I had, that you might be able to flip some docks today and catch some fish.
Yeah, hopefully we can go out there and catch a few.
Keep your eyes open for those jumps. We're here early enough, we may see some of that too.
Yeah, a good topwater bite would be fun.
I see some minnows working over there right now.
It's gonna be a beautiful morning.
There you go. What you
That's
got
a good
there?
one.
There you go. That's a nice spot right there now.
Yes, sir.
A lot of times those jokers are school. You maybe have a couple of them out here. Caught him on that worm, didn't you?
Yeah, a little speed worm.
You're on the board. Hey,
Yes,
look
sir.
at this. I just got a bite right there with you. Missed him though. Sitting there admiring your fish, missing
Yeah.
my own.
That's a nice little spot right there.
Zach, I know you love to bass fish,
Oh, yeah.
but interestingly enough, getting into bass fishing with you is a lot different than most people.
You know, nobody in my family really bass fished. And
Now they fished a lot, right?
yeah, yeah. You know, my grandpa and my dad fished, but, you know, I was probably, I don't know, 12, and I saw people doing it, catching fish, and I thought, you know, let's give it a try.
And the jumps came up. We're not sure what these are just yet, but I bet it's a mixture of a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to run over there and try that.
All right, let's roll.
That fish could come all the way out of the water.
Oh, I got him.
Sweet.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you what, that's exciting. It's fun,
Oh,
ain't it?
man. Like a kid on Christmas morning. Oh, that's a good fish.
Look at that. That's why you come out
Oh,
here
yeah. Oh, come on, buddy.
and test these. Nice job,
That's
man.
awesome.
There you go.
Oh, that's a good hybrid right there.
That's a good hybrid. How strong they are. Look, setups. I'm doing setups.
Yeah.
Coming out here and casting to these jumps when they're going on. Yeah, we're out here to bass fish,
Yeah.
but when these things start jumping, you almost got to go give them a try.
Yeah, that's a great fish right there.
Because that fish fought probably like a 4 or 5 pounder.
Oh, yeah, biggest hybrid I've ever caught.
Nice job, though.
That's awesome.
When you were 12, it was the days of a lot of information already being out there.
Right.
You know, you're in your early 20s, so 12 years old for you, the internet was already alive, and
Right.
you used that a lot to learn how to fish, didn't you?
I've sat on the computer and, you know, watch YouTube for hours, you know, and watch, you know, how-to videos, different techniques.
You fished through college, right?
I do, you know, I fish for the University of Louisville right now, my second year, and
Tell me about what college bass fishing has meant to you.
Without college fishing, I don't know if I would have made it through college. You know, it's a big group of guys that get together. You know, we hang out together, we study together. You know, we push each other to do good in school and fish. Oh, there you go.
He let it get right to the boat and then he took it.
He's nut.
I think, I got this one. This looks good for the future years of hybrid fishing here at Rough River. There's a bunch of them.
I have never experienced anything like this before. Wow.
I want to grab a net on this one. There we go. Interestingly enough, this lake has quite a few of these. This is a hybrid bass, and we're running a study on them. If they have a transmitter, you want to call the department, let them know that you've caught one, your location and where you caught it, but you want to release it because what they're doing is they're studying the movement of these. This does not have one, and these fish get quite a bit bigger, and man, do they fight.
And they taste really good too.
And they taste really, really good.
That's a good solid fish.
That's a pretty good fish, but I mean, they get 10, 12 pounds. We're gonna get this one back in there though. Lord, they're strong. You said your dad didn't bass fish, but now he does, doesn't he?
Yeah, you know, we first started bass fishing, you know, because we have always camped. And we started out with zip code 33 throwing rooster tails.
Not only do you fish the college circuit, but you and your dad also tournament fish.
Oh yeah, we fish 2 nights a week, you know, local lakes, and we've had some success, and you know, it's a learning process. Tell you what, my mom will get out here and fish too, and she's kicked my butt a couple times. Oh man, she gets on me all the time, and she's like, when you ever gonna go out and bring home some dinner? You know, you always throw them fish back.
Never gets old.
No.
Never gets old. People talk about, you know, fishing a jig, fishing a swim bait, and hearing that thump that about takes it right out of your hand. Well, this is a perfect example of a fish. When it hits, it wants to take the rod out of your hand. Beautiful. You went to high school in Louisville.
Yes, sir.
It was a Louisville public school.
Right, I went to Male.
To Male High School, and they don't have bass fishing there, so
There's one.
you got one right there. Nice. What's that on that worm?
Yeah, it's a little guy.
There you go, though. That's what we're looking for. But you were talking about going to Male, and Male doesn't offer high school bass fishing, do they?
No.
And I tell you what, they're really, really, really missing out. The drum. What do you know?
Oh, slimy fish.
We're catching a little bit of everything today. Where are the white bass at? Deeper. You gotta go deeper. What are you majoring in?
Criminal justice.
Criminal justice.
Yes, sir. I'll graduate in December, actually. Can't wait. Can't wait. I will miss college fishing, though. You know, it's been a big part of my life.
Tournament fish if you like, fun fish if you like, whatever you want to do.
I love getting new people into the sport also. It's fun, you know. All kinds of fishing's fun. Bluegill fishing, you know, catfishing. You know, just getting outside and outdoors.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's so relaxing. And
yeah, that's interesting because you're a hunter as well, right?
I do. You know, I deer hunt, turkey hunt, dove hunt, you name it. You know, it's in my blood.
If you're new to deer hunting, you may think that your weapon is the most dangerous tool that you take to the woods. It's actually your tree stand. The fall is right around the corner. And if you're like us here at Kentucky Afield, we're getting really, really excited to start hanging a deer stand in a tree. A few things you need to consider on the safety aspects of climbing and using a climbing stand or using a lock-on stand. We're going to go through some of the safety issues that we've come up with here. We got over 45 years of bow hunting experience here in the Kentucky Afield office, and we put some thoughts and ideas together to try to keep you safe this fall this winter in the deer stand. One of the most important things when climbing a tree stand is choosing the right tree. You can see I've got a tree here that is pretty good size diameter. They can't be too big because you can't get your straps around it, and you don't want to climb something too small. And then the most important thing is the bark. If this bark here is a very firmly attached bark, I highly discourage trying to climb a scaly bark hickory or a sycamore tree or something where the bark is in sheets, because you may only be hooked into that tree 1/8 of an inch, and if that bark decides to slide off, you're going with it. And also make sure your tree is in good health. This tree has no dead branches. It is completely alive, full of leaves, and ready to climb. We're on the upside of the hill, and this is just an easier way to get into the stand so that you're not already starting up trying to climb into a stand that's already this high, because when you first step into the tree, you're not going to be tethered. That's the only point in time you're not going to be tethered the entire time. This stand here is close to the ground where I can get right in and out, and then the top part is tethered. This is really important. If you ever start the process of going up and down the tree and you don't have your top and your bottom of your stand connected, if the bottom falls off your feet for whatever reason, it's going all the way to the ground. We've got our safety harness on. You want to make sure if you're putting a jacket or whatever on the outside, you want to make sure that this is easy to get to. I quite often wear a shirt or a jacket over my vest, and I do that for a couple reasons. First off, sometimes I got more clothes on than what I can get on under this vest, and secondly, I don't want this here interfering with my bowstring during the draw. Third thing you see I've got is my pull rope. This is what I'm going to have my bow and arrow tied on the end of. I have made the mistake in the past of hooking this up down here at the bottom. The issue becomes here is you really got to reach over to try to get this, which leans you way out over the stand. You will have a tether on at that time, but it still makes it a little easier if you attach this up here, nice and easy to grab by your hand, and you can pull your bow up. One of the other things that I do recommend is a lot of these bow ropes will come with these clips. They're pretty handy, but I'll tell you, sometimes they can fail. I have had a bow come off and literally fall to the ground. So I like to put an old-fashioned quick little knot on here to keep me from losing my bow. I do not trust these clips. I've got it tied to the cam, make sure my bowstring is free and clear, ready to go. Make sure you check and test all of the straps and cables that your stand may come with. You're going to be sitting in the seat. Make sure you test the seat. Make sure you test these cables and straps to these and make sure they're in good working condition. This particular stand here has a cable that is wrapped and has got these knuckles on there. You want to make sure and test this cable for any rusting. If you see rust on the cable, you can buy replacements. A lot of them even have an expiration date. Now, we're going to climb in this stand, we're going to start up the tree. Once you get in and get your feet set, you want to make sure you apply pressure to the end of the stand and lock it in, and then I'm doing the same with the seat. Now it's time to get the tether. There are a whole bunch of these different styles of tethers. Make sure you read the owner's manual and how to appropriately use your tether. So on this one here, we'll strap it around the tree, we'll attach in here, and this is a safety release. This is used to pop it loose if you need to free yourself. Now, I don't want to get this too incredibly tight because as I make my way up the tree, this has to go up with me. This particular style of carabiner here has a method where you can screw it up and cover the connection point. What that does is that means that you can't bump it and accidentally release this carabiner. And you latch this in and then thread that back up over top of your connection point. That keeps it from sliding open. You do not want your carabiner to open up. So now I am locked in, latched in good. I can slide this up the tree using this release to free myself, go up, and then pull it tight. From there, it's all about getting my feet into the bottom straps, and this one has these hooks and this bungee cord. The hooks for the front of my feet, the bungee cord for the back. It depends on what type of stand you have. This is a sit and climb. I will literally go up, put my feet down, slide up, pull back and make sure that I'm locked in. So now I'm at about the height that I want to hunt at. So the first thing you want to do is to get the distance that you want the top from the bottom, lock in the top, remove your feet, and lock this in real good. Before you stand up or move, you want to move this tether up to about the height of your head and cinch it down really tight. The reason you want this up this height is because now I'm all locked in. If I happen to fall out of this stand, I want this tether to catch me so that I can easily climb back into the stand to regain my hunt. If I put this tether way down here and I fall out, I could be in a situation where I'm hanging too far below the stand to get back in. But now that I'm up here, I'm locked in, I've got my carabiner a little bit away from the buckle. I'm ready to bring my bow up and continue with my hunt. Make sure you get this rope out away from your feet. You don't want it to get wrapped up in your bow as you draw, and you don't want to get wrapped up in your feet as you move around. So now, I would be ready to proceed with the rest of my evening's hunt. Everything's ready to go. I feel safe. I'm tethered to the tree. Everything is good to go. Not every single tree is suitable for a climbing stand. Make sure you join us next week and we'll show you how to safely use a lock-on stand. Hey, every single year, September the 1st is the opening day of dove season. Let's take a look back last year as we battled a hurricane. I'll tell you what, I didn't think today was gonna happen. This rain.
Looks like we'll probably hopefully dodge it all.
I'll tell you what, we've already, just getting ready, we've already heard a lot of gunshots, so there's some other optimistic hunters out here this morning.
Sounds promising.
I'll tell you what, when coming into a dove field like this, I like to try to, if it's available, try to pick some high ground. What do you think?
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Let's do that.
Where did he come from?
First bird of the year. Wasn't sure this was going to happen today. This is the first time I've ever hunted in a storm that had a name. Harvey's coming through today. You know what? There's a lot of birds flying. It's much better than I expected. I know a lot of the state's getting a washout today. We're lucky we're here in Madison County on a public co-op field. Brought our videographer here, Nathan Sangster. This is his favorite activity, to get out and dove hunt.
Down.
You got one, Nathan?
First dove of the year.
Nice.
He's a juvenile, but still eats good.
Nice job.
Let me get my Kroger game bag out.
I'm partial to the Family Dollar ones.
I got an extra one if you need it.
All right, thank you.
All right, Chad, I'm gonna give my age away. I took my first dove 41 years ago, and there's still nothing like the thrill of dove hunting.
You know, and I've heard a rumor about that, and you took it with a slingshot. Is that true?
I'm not that good. Oh, good shot, guy. Every time I shoot a shotgun and smell that powder, it just brings back rich memories of hunting dove and quail with my family down in South Georgia. Got him. Good job.
Got one down. It's hard to have a job like you have and not have some interest in hunting. How many years have you been a videographer for Kentucky Afield?
11.5 years with Kentucky Afield. Sorry, looking around here.
Hey, those are allowed to interrupt. It's not rude for them to interrupt.
I've been working 11.5 years as a videographer for Kentucky Afield Television and consider every day a blessing. The challenge with this job is every shoot I go on, I want to get involved in it, but I don't have enough money to get into that sport.
Man, you're always carrying a camera. This is a little different today. That shotgun feels a little different than carrying a camera, doesn't it?
Oh yes. It's nice pulling the trigger on a gun than it is the camera.
a little higher. Those birds are a little low. So Nathan, you live in Shelby County. There's one of these co-op fields that's been there for several years as well.
Yes, I've shot that for about 3 or 4 years in a row, and it tends to be a pretty good field.
They're pretty well spread throughout the state, but this one here is a pretty good sized field, and that one, I think that's 30 or 40 acres there in Shelby County.
At least.
That offers some really good dove hunting. How many acres is this piece of property?
This piece of property right here is only 90 acres.
So how many years have you done this program here now, the dove program?
3 years.
3 years.
3 years.
Talking to some of the biologists that have spent some time out here with you, they're telling me that some of your fields have got as many doves as any of the other co-op properties. So you're doing something right.
That's great.
I tell there's a couple thousand doves using this piece of property.
Great. Yeah, you know, I've been watching it and working it and kind of getting it to getting it ready for my fellow hunters here in Madison County. Yeah. And it's good to do something for, you know, hunters, because nowadays everything's being developed and there's nowhere for anybody to hunt at, to have any kind of other activities to do things like that.
Got him.
Nice job.
Yay!
Nice shot, Nathan.
Oh, he went right by me.
Awesome, thank you.
For a person who has never been in the field or is considering going out and hunting doves, tell them a couple tips, a couple things they might want to know as far as what to buy and what to bring to the field.
If you don't like a lot of recoil on a shotgun, I would highly recommend investing in a semi-automatic.
Recoil means how hard it kicks.
How hard it kicks on your shoulder there. If you're just getting into it and you can't afford a semi-automatic, which, you know, you can get some as low as in the upper 300s, get you a pump. You may want to start with a 20 gauge. Some say that they offer a little bit less kick, but if you're not a great shot, you may want to look at a 12 gauge because you throw in a little bit more lead up there. For dove hunting, generally you want a 2 3/4 inch, a light load, anywhere from a 1 ounce to a 1 1/8 ounce lead shot, unless non-toxic shot is required on the field you're hunting. Number 8 shot or 7.5 shot. They're small little pellets, but you're putting a lot more up there when you're shooting at a moving bird.
And I'll tell you, hearing protection is only important if you want to hear when you're 50. Otherwise, it's...
What was that you said?
Tell you what, I believe the rain's going to end up pushing us out, but I'm very excited that we got a chance to get out today. It's been quite a while since I did not dove hunt on the opening day, and man, this weather did not look good for us.
I tell you what, I'll take 2 hours on opening day than none.
That's exactly right. Nice. That was perfect. Now let's check in and see who else has been out having fun in this week's Ones That Didn't Get Away. Check out how happy Wesley Martin is as he holds this bass he caught in a Fayette County lake. Nice job. Check out the smile on Addie Blankenship as she is proud and holds her largemouth bass while pond fishing in Ohio County. Nice job. Check out this impressive trout caught by 2-year-old Allison Rogers at Lake Cumberland. Nice job. Here is a beautiful whitetail buck taken by Jake Witt, and it was taken in Pulaski County. Nice job. Brock Crisp, who's 7 years old and he's from Cannonsburg, Kentucky, shows us his very first fish, and he's proud of it. Here we have Audrey Scott, who's 4 years old, who went bluegill fishing with her papaw at Mill Dam in Dawson Springs. Nice job. Here's a nice 10-point buck that was taken in Breathitt County by Samantha Stamper while she was hunting with her dad. Nice deer. Looks like Connor Thomas got out and braved the cold conditions as he caught his very first bass on Cave Run Lake. Nice job. Jimmy Elgood had a nice spring turkey season as he took this gobbler in Trimble County on a private farm. Here's a beautiful buck taken in Franklin County by Roy McCall. Nice job. Here's the only thing better than one big flathead catfish, and that's 2 big flathead catfish caught by Jane Leger of Mount Vernon, Kentucky. Taylor Baker will never forget her first fish as she caught this nice bluegill on Lake Cumberland. Nice job. 18-month-old Jacob Baker is admiring his first catch ever, caught on Lake Cumberland. Nice job. Do you have a hunting or a fishing photo that you'd like to share? Well, Kentucky Afield is now accepting emailed photos of the ones that didn't get away. We will no longer accept photos sent through the mail. Email your photo to us at kyafield.ones@ky.gov. If you're really looking forward to all the fall hunting seasons, I want to remind you, squirrel season is already in and deer and dove season are right around the corner. Get that bow and arrow out and start practicing. And remember, hunting and fishing on private property is a privilege. Always ask permission and thank the landowner. Until next week, I'm your host, Chad Miles, and I hope to see you in the woods or on the water.